Hey there guys, we're going to be going to the Advent of Purgatory Rush Elite version. Earlier this morning I live streamed it. You can still see the replay of the live stream if you want to see. To be honest, it wasn't that exciting. It was relatively easy. We got in there, we got it done. We made some mistakes, it ended up not mattering. But I'm going to go ahead and do a standalone video for YouTube, and we're going to do it again. Also, earlier on Thursday, the Crest Pass missions were bugged, and if you did these clears early on Thursday, it didn't count for the Crest Pass. It's been hot fixed. We got to run them again. So I'm going to go ahead and run the Elite version for the video. So the missions are basically no KOs and 30 turns. We're going to take a nicely built fundamental, and we're going to use the team that I showed on the preparation video I did on Wednesday. The exact same team. It worked perfectly. So we're going to get in here and give it a go. So overall, it's not super hard, and I'll talk about it more when we get there, but it seems that Global kind of messed up and copied the wrong bosses on this trial, so it's actually a lot easier than it's supposed to be. We'll talk more about that when we get to the water stages. But for Keelma, we're going to just go ahead and do some fire damage on her. So Aang is going to Clear Sun for the LB and stat buff. Morning Dew to Fire and Peril, and then Infarega to buff the party. Zahn will... honestly, not much here. He's going to just, like, Thick Fog, and nothing else matters. Crimson Rain is going to go ahead and Shelga, break Defensive Spirit, and then do a Fire Field with Elemental Drive. And then we're going to do LB with our Fundamental Forces. And then Willhelm will just refill the LB gauge. Yep, some attacks. We're not going to kill it, but that's fine. Then Willhelm is... now, Willhelm automatically Omni-covers on turn 1. So that's going to cover for us. And we use his triple Bar Farega or Bar Thundasia, whatever, to fill the LB gauge for the party. And he will counterattack fill the rest of it. Okay. So the boss did put up Mirage. We will break that with Willhelm and Zahn. Willhelm counterfilled the party. I'm not sure if you can dispel it. We'll find out. Looks like we can dispel it, so there we go. And then we'll just go ahead and burst again. And that's really all there is to it. And we burst. There goes Keelma. There is 2 turns out of our 30 allowed. Now, there probably is ways to turn 1 kill her, but we're going to be ahead by like 5 turns at the end of this, so I didn't really like stress trying to figure out a turn 1 kill. On the other hand, this one's going to be a turn 1 kill. So now we're on a Thunder stage. It's also a machine, though, so we can do Machine Killer with Zahn, which will make it real easy. So Aang is just going to go ahead and do Clear Sun for the LB and stat buff. Rain can do, again, just Shield Crusher to break defense and spirit. Willhelm is going to do Thunder Imbue on himself. Siege Strategy, and we'll just cover just in case, but we're not going to need it, honestly. And then Zahn is now going to steal the Thunder Imbue off of Willhelm with Elemental Mirror. We're going to dismantle for the Machine Killer, and then spread all of that. And then we just go ahead and do the SOB of the fundamentals, and that'll be a turn 1 kill on this one, relatively simply. So there is 3 turns of our 30 complete. We've got 2 out of 9 bosses dead. And I'll show you the gear and all at the end. Okay, so now we're going into the Grace of Water Trial. Now, you might notice the Grace of Water Trial bosses are squishier and they deal less damage than the others. You might be wondering, aren't these supposed to be harder? It turns out that Global did Global things, and it looks like they copied from JP, the bosses from the original Grace of Water trial, and they didn't copy the updated versions. That's why they seem so squishy and so weak, because their stats are lower than they should be. So Siren, Kokoroyu, and Leviathan are kind of jokes, as you're going to see. But their mechanics are still in play, so like the Mirage, the barriers, and all that kind of stuff. So this is a water boss. So Aang, we're going to set up on turn 1. Aang will imbue the party with water. We'll do Clear Sun, and we'll do... You know, we don't even need Clear Sun. We're going to do In Water, and Water-Ga. We'll do Bird Killer, and we'll do Roiling Mist for the... You know what? Oh, that's right. Roiling Mist for the field. Rain will Shelga. Shield Crusher, and we don't want a field, so we'll just do Incremental Energy. Oh, never mind. We need Shelga. I forgot about that. It's Modifier Buff, and then Shield Crusher. Zahn will use his SLB to break the boss. Let's see here. And then Fundamentals really don't have a whole lot to do. They can just like Heavenly, and that's kind of it. We're going to kill next turn. And then Willhelm can... Literally nothing matters. What is guard? Okay. So he automatically covers. And as far as things like charm immunity, stop immunity, all that kind of stuff, the whole party's wearing immunity. Okay, so the boss has 5 stack of Mirage. So what we're going to do here, we're going to break it with Willhelm and Zahn. By just attacking 5 times. It cannot be dispelled, by the way. So Zahn will hit twice and refresh his field. And Willhelm will hit 3 times. And that'll be 5 hits of Mirage gone. And there we go. So now we can just go ahead and burst with the whole crew. And that should be the end of Siren. So that is 2 more turns. So we're at 5 turns out of our 30 complete. And yeah, as you say, simple. The only tricky thing is the 5-stack Mirage, but just, you know, use your DPS to get rid of it. Okay, so Tato. So you can either set up on turn 1, then burst, or just burst twice. We're gonna go with the burst twice plan instead. So once again, we're back on fire. So Aang will fire imbue, Clear Sun, and Midday Sun. I might have done Morning Dew on a previous boss. Oh well. Rain will Shelga, Shield Crusher, and Elemental Drive to swap the field. Zahn, not a whole lot to do. Yeah, I guess we'll just burst. Zahn don't have much to do here. Okay. And then Willhelm will refill our LB gauge. I mean, Zahn can literally just guard. He's just here for later fights. Okay. Yeah, so we're actually not even using our human killer. It doesn't really matter, though. Okay. So Willhelm will counterfill the LB gauge, and we'll go ahead and go again. We're going to use Zahn beforehand, though, to cure the status effects. I should have done that last turn. It doesn't matter. Okay. So we can burst with just the fundamentals, or we can use Aang and all that as well. Doesn't really matter. Notice we've still never casted Willhelm's Omni cover, except for the auto-cast one. So we'll just use Isuna with dual cast on both the DPS to get rid of their silence. And we'll reload, and we'll pop off again. And there goes Tato. So 2 more turns, so that is now 7 turns out of our 30. Alright, so next is going to be the gate boss from Grace of Thunder. And on my live stream, you notice that I made some mistakes and we got dispelled. I didn't know you dispelled on turn 1. It ended up not mattering. We killed it anyway because super easy. But now I know that he's going to dispel me on turn 1, so I've got a plan. So here we go. So we're going to just buff on turn 1 and kill on turn 2. So Aang will just do Clear Sun. Fundamental will do Event Horizon, their field, and literally who cares? We're not DPSing on this turn. You can just punch. Rain will Shelga, Large Sword, and Shield Crusher. Zahn can literally just guard. And Willhelm can... Doesn't really matter. We don't want to cover. We want to keep his Omni cover. So we're just going to Siege, and then who cares? Siege is for the big breaks. Okay. So we're getting dispelled on turn 1. As I didn't know on the live stream. There's the dispel. So the boss is doing stop and all that too, but again, we're all wearing immunity or naturally immune, so we don't care about stop. Okay, so after being dispelled, we are now going to have Willhelm do Thunder Imbue on himself. Then Zahn can steal that Thunder Imbue with Elemental, Machine Killer, and AoE Share with Projected. Okay. And now we burst with everyone, and this guy should be super dead. You know what? I forgot to imperil him, but oh well. It's not going to matter, honestly. Yeah, with Machine Killer, we're going to super kill this. Okay, so 2 more turns. We're at 9 turns out of our 30. Right? 2, 1 is 3, 5, 7, 9. Yeah, 9 turns. 9 out of 30. Okay, Kokurayu. It's not super challenging, but he's a water fight, so let's go ahead and swap to water. Also, Dragon Killer. Now, for this one, we need stop immunity. That's very important. So. Not stop. We need stone immunity. It's petrify immunity. So Zahn will do that with softening protection from Lakshmi. Aang is going to water imbue the party. Water field and clear sun. Rain will Shelga. Shield Crusher. And let's incremental energy. Let's see. Willhelm will come back in a second. Let's go ahead and do some bursting real quick. Probably push the 50 threshold. We did. Willhelm will go ahead and cover, siege, and safeguard. So the boss is going to berserk Zahn because we pushed that threshold. But that's okay. We don't really care. Okay, so threshold attacks and then some weak damage. Like, notice the damage he's doing. So low. It should be higher. But whatever. Anyway, Zahn is now berserk. So we're going to use Aang to cure that berserk. Alright, so Aang is now going to do Dragon Killer, Awaken Divinity, and Cleansing Arrow to get rid of the berserk off of Zahn for next turn. Willhelm will fill LB gauge for the party. And we only got to push the boss to 50%. I'm sorry, 25%. So we'll go ahead and just use the fundamentals, and Rain can just guard here. Oh, I should have used Rain's modifier buff. Oh well, I forgot. My bad. Okay, so HP lock, HP lock at 25, and now the boss will buff up and heal. But honestly, it's fine. So Zahn will now steal the killer off of Aang. We'll refresh his thick fog field and spread that stuff. And then we'll go ahead and kill the boss. So Aang will LB, Rain will LB, and we're going to LB with Willhelm as well to refresh his Omni cover. Okay, so that was 3 turns, so we're at 12 turns, and now we have the final bosses to go and 18 turns to kill them. Now, why didn't we kill him? Did I miss something? Oh, you know what? I never imperiled the boss. I never imperiled the boss. Oh my god. He's not imperiled. I just never cast an imperil the entire fight. Unbelievable. So Zahn will LB here. I can't believe I never cast an imperil. Anybody's water imperil. That's so stupid. That's so stupid. I can't believe I did that. Really? Really? Okay, so we we took an extra turn. My bad. So we're at 13 turn. If I had imperiled, like, you know, I was supposed to, we would have been fine. But whoopsie. Yeah, Aang should have used his Morning Dew skill. That is my bad completely. Oh well. So we're at 13 turns, which is fine. We're going to kill both of these on turn 1. Then we're going to kill... That could be a problem now that I think about it. Oh boy. Well, we're going to find out. So Aang's going to guard. Fundamental is going to just put up the field. Other Fundamental will put up Event Horizon. Rain will Shelga. Zahn will field. And Willhelm will break and cover and all that. Cover, siege, decisive. Yeah, we're killing. So we're at turn 13. We're gonna kill this on turn 5 and the next one on turn 5. So that's 23. We're gonna kill at exactly turn 30. We would have killed at turn 39. Wow, that's gonna actually mess me up, but because I didn't imperil. Anyway, the boss we can't hurt until turn 5, so we're going to literally just hang out for like a long time. So Willhelm can just refill his Magnus, and we just go ahead and keep passing time. I cannot believe I lost a turn because I forgot to imperil. But yeah, we can't hurt till turn 5. The boss is dispelling us on turn 3. We can't hurt till turn 5, so this is like boring. I can't believe that. I'm tempted to start the whole video over. But I'm not going to. This fight's way too long and I don't feel like redoing it. Alright, come on. Come on, auto-casting. Oh my god, auto-casting. Can I ever click reload? Thank you. I hate auto-casting in this game so much. Okay, so we're getting dispelled this turn. Alright. And that'll be turn 18 at the end of this. Oh, I was supposed to use the SLB too. I mean, I'm messing everything up here, aren't I? It doesn't really matter. Counters and auto-casting. So exciting. Alright, Zahn, you're supposed to do your SLB last turn. Whoops. Yeah, we're killing next turn. So, we're doing fire damage. So, will Clear Sun, Awaken, and then who cares? Fundamental will Fire Imbue. We're going to do a small Amplify with Limitless Surge. Not that. Nope, wrong one. Hold on. Not that either. Fire Imbue, Supreme Sanctum, and Heavenly. Other one is going to Heavenly, Supreme Sanctum, and Nebulous. Crimson Rain will Shelga, Fighter of the Large Sword, and Incremental Energy. Oh, I should have done... Oh my god, I'm messing this up all over the place. Who cares? So Willhelm will refresh the buffs because we got dispelled. Yeah, because I messed everything up, we're gonna be diseased as well for the burst. It's not gonna matter, but this is the issue with not writing down your turn charts and all. Just winging it. But whatever. Anyway, Mighty Guard is now down. This fight's very long, as you can see. So Mighty Guard is down. It's time to burst, but not quite yet. We've got stuff to do first. Alright, so Zahn is going to refresh his field, Machine Killer, and spread the Machine Killer. Willhelm will Overdrive. And we burst. We're not shifting Rain because there's no point. And Willhelm will burst. And go ahead and send everybody. Wilhelm's doing his LB for the mitigate, for the refresh and the Omni cover. Anyway, so now we're on turn 18. A turn behind. We should be on turn 17. That's gonna haunt me forever. Messing up that turn and forgetting to use a Water in Peril at some point. Oh well. So once again, we just dick around until turn 5. This time we're doing thunder damage. So Aang can guard. Zahn can cure those diseases now. So we'll dual cast and cure disease. Isuna on both of our diseased people. One of the fundamentals can end Thundega. Other one can field. Rain can Shelga. And Willhelm can break and all that kind of fun stuff. Cover, siege, and safeguard. Okay. So we burst on turn 5. Now on turn 3, this time the boss will dispel himself, not us. And make sure the whole party's wearing death immunity, because otherwise you will get killed here with Reaper or death level 10. Yeah, we're all wearing death immunity, including the friend. So we're not going to fail the no death mission. All right. So yeah, we just, goof around. Willhelm can do his LB so that he refreshes his Omni cover. You guys can all refresh. You can put up Thick Fog. So this time, on turn 3, we're going to use Zahn's SLB, which I meant to do previously. So the boss dispelled himself. Zahn's SLB will break him again, though, so don't worry about it. Alright, we just, reload again, do our thing. Willhelm will refill his LB gauge. So let me think. We covered on turn 1, 2, 3, so we need to cover again to have it on turn 4. That's fine, it doesn't matter. Okay. So now we set up for killing next turn. Alright, so Rain is going to Fighter of the Large Sword, Incremental Energy, Shield Crusher. Zahn will Field, Machine Killer, and spread it. Aang can just... Nope, he's got a triple. Aang will do Clear Sun, Awakened, and then doesn't matter. We're already imbued from earlier. Fundamental can do Heavenly. We'll do the big Amplify now, and then kind of whatever. Other one, same thing. Heavenly, big Amplify, Nebulous, because why not? Willhelm can do his Overdrive here if we're killing next turn. It lasts 2 turns. And he's got an Omni cover here. And next turn we will burst again. Before we burst, though, Zahn's going to use Isuna. So that'll put us on turn 23. Which gives us 7 turns for Leviathan. Which is honestly cutting it a little close. That's cutting it a little close. We should have had an extra turn. I do think it's going to be totally fine, but yeah. Anyway, so before we do it, Zahn will just go ahead and dual cast Isuna to cure those status effects off the fundamentals. And we'll go ahead and OTK the Darkness. Okay, turn 23. Unfortunately, Leviathan has HP locks. And Leviathan has a stupid shield mechanic we got to deal with for half an hour. But, yeah. Alright. Last fight. The water fight. Okay, so we've got to hit the boss with water for 4 turns in a row to break the shield. Alright, so we got to have stone resist at all times on this fight. So Zahn has to maintain this softening protection. Aang can just, literally just hang out for now. Fundamental will imbue the party with ice and then hit the boss. Other one can just keep Event Horizon up. Rain can just keep Shelga up. And Willhelm, do not cover on turn 1. Let your Omni cover be there. So Willhelm will just do Siege Strategy. Don't use the covers. And then some buffs. Let his auto Omni cover take care of you on turn 1. That was also a mistake I made during the stream, but I learned my lesson. It ended up not mattering, but yeah. Anyway, as you can see, stone gaze and all. If we didn't have stone resist, we would have been in trouble there. But we did have it, so we're okay. Okay, so we're just gonna basically repeat for a few turns and just keep it going. So this turn we need to do Willhelm's cover. Omni cover. Alright, come on, autocasting. Alright, so Willhelm will cover Omni cover, and then literally who cares? And the rest of you can just repeat. Deal some ice damage to the boss. There's ice damage again. So that's turn 2. So now we're on turn 25 on our clear. So we do it again. So exciting. Alright, Willhelm will do his LB to refresh the gauge thing. Zahn will Thick Fog to refresh that field. We're still just hanging out. Alright. Next turn, at the end of the turn, the boss will break the shield. And we're going to get dispelled. Then we can start actually hurting the boss. I know this is like not the most exciting fight. I'm going as quick as I can, but yeah. Okay, so in order to burst next turn, we're going to use Aang to... Let me think for a second. First of all, Zahn will LB here. Rain is going to Large Sword, Incremental, and Shield Crusher. Let me think for a second. Fundamentals are going to use their LB buff, which is not dispellable, and then hit the boss a few times. Other one can just LB buff. Aang is going to Water Field. No, there's no point in that. Is this dispellable? It is not. So Aang is going to Placid. No, Aang's not bursting next turn. Never mind. Yeah, so Aang's just going to Water Field. And that's kind of it. And Willhelm will just fill his LB gauge. Okay, so we're getting dispelled this turn. Here we go. So we're on turn 28. On turn 5. So we were on 23 coming in, now we're on 28. Okay, the wall of ice has shattered. We can finally deal some damage. Here's the dispel, though. Okay, and there's an HP lock at 50%, which we're going to push as well. Yeah, we're going to kill on turn 6. This is fine. Okay, remember though, we gotta maintain Petrify Resist. So Zahn will Softening Protection after the Dispel. Aang will imbue us with water. So Aang will Water Imbue. Aang will Clear Sun. And Awaken Divinity for next turn. Willhelm will give us some Overdrive. Rain will shift here. And we're going to go ahead and burst all of these. And push that 50% threshold. Okay. And Willhelm will... we need Omni Cover, so we will Omni Cover. That's probably all we need, honestly. Omni Cover. And we're going to fill LB gauge twice. Honestly, I think Omni Cover is plenty. We don't need all the mitigations. And then Barb Lazaja to fill LB gauge. Okay, so we're going to kill next turn. That'll be a turn 28 kill. No, turn 29, actually. It should have been a turn 28. Anyway, so that right there is not an actual dispel. That only removes our water resist, not our buffs. So we're fine. So Willhelm can triple cast to fill LB gauge if we needed it, but we're going to win super much right now. Okay, so we burst everyone, and honestly, that should be the end of the boss. Oh yeah, big time. Okay, so we came in on 23, it's now turn 6. So that is turn 29, should have been a turn 28 clear. Should have been turn 28. It was actually turn 29. We still had a turn to go. So this clear gives you 2 or 3 turns of leeway if your damage is not quite as good for all the missions. Anyway, as far as the gear goes, Zahn is on Lakshmi for the stop resist. I'm sorry, the petrify resist for the party. The rest of the espers aren't too important. Just do it for killers. Zahn's gear is passive provoke, and the whole party is death immune and status immune to the important statuses. Other than that, it didn't matter that much. We gave him dual cast. We gave him healing gear. It didn't matter. We never healed once, as you saw. There's Willhelm, death immunity, some mana reduction, a lot of bulk. He took single-digit damage the whole fight, so who cares? There you go. Crimson Knight Rain, both forms geared identical. He is just a backup buffer. He's also our leader. Stop immune from this. If you don't have this, give him stop immune from a different source. There you go. Status immunity. Divine Archer, status immunity, death immunity, some killers. There it is. We gave that card for the killers. Fundamental. I showed all the gear in detail during my preparation video. So if you want explanation about the gear, check the preparation video. And then here's the friend, geared mostly identical. Craftsman's instead, which is actually slightly better. But I'm way too cheap to go buy that. Anyway, there's our all mission clear. We didn't die. We did it in 30 turns or less total. And 40 turns or less total. So yeah. The 3 water bosses should have been harder. But what are you going to do? You have to wonder if it was intentional or an accident for them to make the bosses weaker. But either way, we got it done. And here's a damage breakdown. Pretty similar. The friend did have a better ring that I'm too cheap to buy, so, appreciation for that. But either way, it was overkill. So there it is, and we got all missions. I already did it already. And thankfully, that will also give me the Adventure Crest for doing it over again. Anyway, there you go. As far as a budget run, I'm probably going to wait on a budget run until next week. Because, hint, hint, there should be a unit that everyone will get that will make it a little bit easier to clear. So, we're going to do a budget run next week, I think. But I might do an alternative run that's still not that budget, but swapping some units around this week. We'll see. Anyway, see you soon.